It is time to upgrade from that swag. So guys, we drove 5 hours south to Perth.
Saw an Ocker for sale. It could be a sign. Often wake up with ants in my underpants.
And I said, we'll take one.
Yep. Didn't even discuss it with me, she just bought it.
So guys, we just bought it. 5 weeks ago, we posted our rig options and costings for traveling Australia, and you guys blew our minds away.
Blew our mind with so many comments, suggestions,
feedback.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
The number one thing that you guys recommended for us to get was
a full drive
van.
A camper van. So we looked into it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just out of our budget.
Very expensive, especially the one you guys are interested in, is the high ace and converting it, guys.
To a 4x4, and then also you would then also have to do the actual conversion itself, like the living conversion.
Yeah, just the 4x4.
And mods. Coming in the second place was a slide-on camper.
Coming in third place was the off-road camper trailer.
Fourth place was the off-road van. Then it was a truck.
Yep.
And then in equal place was a Unimog.
And a bus towing a troopy, which we have seen twice.
And a troopy.
Crazy. So guys, what are we doing? We've absolutely got no idea. The only thing I know for certain is I'm going to burn that Iron Man swag.
We had 5 hours to work it out and start chatting.
But then we see...
Clear left. So we're chucking a Yui because we just saw an Ocker for sale.
I just saw an Ocker for sale. It could be a sign.
Oh, let's go look.
She looks old, but... Hey mate, just calling about your Ocker that's for sale on the side of the road here. Mate, just wondering what year it was and how many Ks is on it. I'm gonna go have a look.
We're having a look at an Ocker.
It's only ever been used once. The husband and wife built it, got sick, and it's been parked in the shed ever since.
No! That's a tragic story.
Mm.
We totally just test drove an Ocker.
That was pretty awesome. She's big. She's
old. She's a 94. She's got only 11,000 Ks on her though. And it's 60K, and of course she's 94, so it does need work done to it.
Yeah.
My hesitation instantly is it's just noisy. It's like driving a truck, isn't it?
Yeah. It's noisy.
I'm feeling like luxury in my life.
Leaf sprung front.
It's
like,
really cool though.
It's cool.
Sadly, we have decided to say no to the Ocker. 20-year-old us would have said, hell yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
40-year-old us wants a little bit more luxury.
Yeah, and also I think there's a lot to do to the Ocker to bring it up to scratch, and
because of its age.
Because of its age, and it's literally sat there for 25 years in a shed. So there's lots to be done, servicing, pulling things apart, and I'm in Western Australia. I don't know anyone. I don't even know where to start with doing any of that stuff. So it just seemed a little bit overwhelming for that. And I just think we want a little bit of comfort in our life. And that thing was a beast, but I don't think comfort was in its name.
What do we ultimately want? Is having a setup that's versatile. I want to be able to say, oh, let's hitch the boat and go and take the rooftop tent and go up to the Cape. Hey, let's chuck the swag on the back and go down the Snowies for the month. Let's tow the camper trailer and go to Tassie for 3 months. I want to have versatility in our setup and not be locked in to just one thing. That for me is really important. What's really important for you, Shen?
Probably at the moment, just getting off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I often wake up with ants in my underpants on my face. I woke up this morning with a mouthful of sand because we had a big windstorm last night.
It was terrible last night. It was terrible.
Flies, and after having one stuck in my ear, I'm feeling quite...
tender and sensitive and paranoid?
Yeah, super paranoid. My ear is super sensitive at the moment, like it is really sore. Doesn't feel like I have anything stuck in it anymore, but it is really sore. What is our budget?
We ultimately don't want to spend a cent over 40K.
Yeah, we feel like if we go over 40K, then we're locked into that style of travel forever.
Yep, and then we won't have any versatility, and we want versatility.
That's what we want.
What are our options?
We've got an off-road caravan, an off-road camper trailer or a rooftop tent.
We've made it to Perth.
Good morning, guys.
We've just pulled in at Jayco Caravan Land. From what we can see, they have new and used.
Yeah, and there are stacks to look at here. So we're gonna have a bit of a walk around. Our main things are weight and tow ball weight, and see what we can see, I suppose.
Let's go.
Let's do it. We walked in wanting to look at the J-Pod, the Penguin, and a pop-top 13-foot caravan.
We told the salesman that we do not want to spend a cent over 40. We want it lightweight. We do not want to tow more than 2 ton, and that we live full time on the road.
Yep. The salesman basically ruled out the J-Pod straight off the cuff.
Do not go with it, he said.
No for full-time travel.
We looked at the 13-foot pop top, and the storage was great. The layout was great.
But we had to rule it out, guys, because I didn't fit on the bed.
No.
Too big.
He was going to whack his legs all night long.
We then looked at the Penguin, which is an off-road camper that just pops up. It's not one of those old ones that kind of folds out on the sides.
And honestly, I loved it. Like, I probably would have bought that if it wasn't for this one. It had pretty good storage, but the thing that I loved about it the most was that when you were inside it, it just felt so spacious. It had great airflow, really good ventilation. And I felt like from going from a swag to that, you were still going to have that breeziness that we're used to.
Yeah, it really would.
And it had a really good layout as well.
My concerns were that it would get really irritating having to pop that thing every day that you moved, and also restocking in towns. How do you get to your fridge?
Well, the
and all your
salesman
food?
said that I would have to crawl in if we didn't want to pop it, but it was doable. And given I'm only short, it probably was doable.
I just couldn't see it happening.
It was in budget, guys, which meant that it doesn't have to become our full-time, all the time tourer.
That's true.
It's just we might do a 4-month trip in it, a 7-month trip in it, and then swap out to a swag or a rooftop tent or something else. I still like it.
I still think we get sick of popping that thing for 4 months. Guys, he then showed us the cross track, and that thing blew my mind.
We liked it.
The weight, the tow ball weight.
114 kilos? What?
How do they do it?
It's insane. I absolutely loved the outdoor kitchen. They had the workflow for that kitchen just purring, the best. Storage for the kitchen, all your food can be right there. Storage inside was amazing.
Inside seating was incredible.
Oh, we could both easily work off it.
And I fitted on the bed.
But it was out of budget. But we were still seriously considering it because it is no longer in construction. They're not making it anymore.
No.
And it just ticks so many lightweight boxes. The only other thing I didn't like was that I thought that maybe it didn't have enough airflow.
Yeah, I think airflow was a big one for me, but it was 8,500 over budget. So not just a little bit over budget. That, in my books, is a lot over budget.
So then the concern also is, will we feel like we have to tour with that full time because we went over the budget?
Yeah, like you invest that much money, I'm going to use it all the time.
But then we can't take the boat and a swag on trips, or a boat and a rooftop on trips. We're heading over to MDC. We saw the Fort 9 at the show and really, really loved it.
Yeah.
So we're super curious to go and have a look at it again and then compare it to Jayco's Cross Track, because there's about a 10 grand price difference. Ouch.
Craziness. But we're thinking that spec-wise, they're very similar, only the Fort 9 is
slightly heavier ball weight, slightly heavier overall.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to having a look at the Fort 9 again.
Me too.
I absolutely loved how open and spacious it felt inside the Fort 9, but then I realised that that was because it had no storage.
None.
And then looking at the kitchen as well, the outdoor kitchen, I didn't like the workflow at all. And then once again, no storage.
Yep. So
where do you put your pots and pans?
Who knows? So we had to instantly rule that out.
So then we looked at their off-road caravans up to 13 foot, comparing them back to the Jayco, and realised
they all had the same cons. No storage, and my goodness, they are heavy.
and I don't like the kitchen workflow. So we asked salesman, what's the story without the storage?
Yeah,
like, where do you put your stuff?
How does it work? And he told us about the tub system.
So apparently most people have tubs in the back of their car, or they line the walkway of the caravan with tubs, and then you empty the caravan of your tubs when you get there, and then you just work out of the tub that you need depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, didn't quite work in my mind for full-time travel.
That doesn't work for full-time travel. Nah.
So we ruled them out. MDC's gone.
And then we went to... Salesman came up to us and said, how are you liking it? What are you thinking? Do you have any questions? And I said, we'll take one.
Yep. Didn't even discuss it with me. She just bought it. So I take it that she's super happy with it. I mean, I was happy with it. There is so much space up there compared to a swag, and it is so luxurious.
So guys, we just bought a rooftop tent. I climbed up into that rooftop tent in the showroom, and guys, it just felt right. I just knew in my heart that we were meant to buy that rooftop tent.
This is huge compared to a swag.
It was just the next natural progression for us.
Yeah, it was. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be in a rooftop tent for the rest of our life.
No,
guys.
We might find a really cool off-road camper in our budget and buy it.
Yeah, I still want to continue to do swag trips, but maybe a little bit shorter than what we've been doing.
Variety is what we want, and this is just the next step to add that variety into our travel style. It will be fitted tomorrow morning by us. We've got to do a few modifications and go to Bunnings and buy a few things.
And they're going to let us fit it in the car park.
And we still have to sit down, maybe we'll go to Macca's and get a drink and work out how we can, it's 83 kilos, and somehow we have to get 83 kilos out of our setup. We cannot add any more weight to this car. We are basically at our GVM, so we've got to work out how to get 83 kilos off this car.
Yep, sure we can work that out. But let's go to Macca's and put some more weight on. We took off one spare tyre, we dropped the swag, we sent a package to Nay's mum full of things that we still want but didn't need.
So that's the dirty bag from the spare tyre that we threw out. The spare tyre had damage to the rim and plugs in it.
Heaps of plugs in it.
And Mum also got the lining from the rooftop tent.
It has an inside wall winter lining, so we didn't need that because it is hot up here. We took the old solar panel off the roof, which was damaged, and we haven't reinstalled that, but at some point we're going to have to add solar back to the roof.
Yeah, that one went in the bin, couldn't be mounted. Then we've also taken off the ensuite awning swing out bracket. We haven't thrown that out because we think that could come in handy in a different sort of style of setup.
Yeah, I think definitely
we don't want to throw it. So
no.
when we get home, it will be going in the shed, weight will be dropping. Then we actually added a dome tent, a little workspace for me. I am 3 weeks behind on editing because the flies were so bad. I just couldn't edit. So we can just pop that little thing up and I can sit in there and I can edit away. And we threw out a whole heap of odds and ends.
Yeah, just things we found we didn't need.
So all up, we reckon we've thrown out around about 80 kilos.
I think that's a pretty good effort. We purchased the Motop rooftop tent from MW Toolbox.
They have 3 whips and...
Three widths?
Came out funny. They have 3 widths and 3 heights. We went with the middle height because it allows us to leave in all of our bedding and all 4 pillows.
What? We also went with the middle width.
The salesman actually suggested that we go with the smaller size, but we're like, dude, we live in this full time.
Luxury.
Luxury, please. And I tell you what, it feels luxurious.
Oh, it does. So it's 1430 wide, giving us an internal mattress of 1350.
So the swag is 1400, but it feels so much bigger than the swag.
Because you don't have the sagging canvas anymore. Everything's like
sagging this way.
Boom, boom, up and down straight.
It cost us $4,100, plus we also bought the brackets for both awnings.
Yep, for $150.
Yep. What's that? 4,250 buckaroonies.
Money well spent, baby.
Honestly, I was hoping to get away with it for under 4, but...
Me too.
Whatever. It is what it is. I think that was the last time that we're ever going to wake up in this swag. And I have to say...
You're happy about it?
Well, no, that was a perfect night's sleep to finish off Swag Life.
It was 9 hours of solid sleep.
Let's go pick up our rooftop tent. I'm really excited.
I'm really excited as well. I've spent the morning getting a few of the mods done to the car, ready for the tent.
Bit of prep work.
Yeah, so I've removed the ensuite awning. I have removed the solar panel and the max tracks off the roof. I've sealed up those holes with some new bolts.
And Sikaflex.
And Sika. Always Sika it, mate.
So it doesn't leak.
And I have also cut down the lugs off the aluminium roof rack.
On the driver's side.
On the driver's side to allow the tent to fit in.
Yes. We're ready. Let's do it. We have our tent and we now have brackets for both of our awnings, which means now we're going to take the main awning down, cut those lugs down, fix the two awnings to the tent, and then load her on.
We just got rid of our Iron Man swag. We were heading to the tip and we saw a recycle centre. So we called in and asked them and they said they'd love to take it and give it to somebody. So I'm glad that it gets to go to someone. And now we're moving upstairs, guys.
First night in the rooftop tent.
I just hope that if we get up to do a wee in the middle of the night, that we remember we're on top of the car and not on the ground.
I'm very concerned about that. I reckon at some point I'm going to fall from the roof of this car. But I'm really excited. No, guys.
We have power in the rooftop tent. Woo!
Another luxury. Lights, charging, and a fan. Stop it.
And it has a voltmeter, so you know how much is left in your battery. From up here, you don't have to get down and check. So awesome.
It has been 10 nights since we bought our rooftop tent, and our only regret so far is that we didn't replace our solar panel when we're in Perth.
We thought, we don't really need it. We've got the blanket. We'll be fine.
Turns out we did need it, guys.
We're so wrong.
Yeah,
we're so going to have to just buy anything now. Anything that we can get our hands on in Exmouth. But honestly, guys, we just absolutely are loving the rooftop tent. It does feel hugely spacious.
Yep. I love my tent. I feel like we have gone super luxury. Like super luxury with a rooftop tent. The thing's huge. And we had our first storm in it last night.
It's the middle of the night and this is our first storm.
We need to make some mods to the strap.
Other than the strap, it's really solid, eh? It's not flapping around.
It's really good and I love that you can have some canvas open and still vent.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Me too. Let's go back to sleep.
Everything is dry. Everything's dry.
I love me a rooftop tent. We would have been so wet in the swag. We got 5.6 mils of rain in just like an hour.
Honestly, we've never experienced camping in the rain and not gotten wet. This is a huge win for us.
Winning.
Winning. Our pillows pushed up against the canvas. Dry. The corner of our bed. Dry. The middle edge of the bed. Dry. Shannon. Dry.
And it was amazing.
We didn't get wet. That's enough to celebrate just in itself. We love the thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.